We'll make corrections as needed.
We're live, and then we'll do some audio checks. Hopefully, there's somebody like we're live. I'm gonna add you in as a video source.
Dude, if we were too professional, people just wouldn't even recognize us.
I mean, we could be completely reformed coming back from the Vegas.
Yeah. Yeah, we could be, but we're not. So, are we live? I'm trying to get the YouTube to open up, and it's just not behaving well.
They're gonna see me like adjusting stuff, but fine.
Okay. Well, I don't see it actually like the video though.
Yeah, it should be there. I'll double check.
Oh, now I see like, yeah, they're seeing you adjust. Oh, wow. I'm off the bottom.
Yeah. You interrupted.
All right. I did.
I apologize, people, for my voice. It's better than it was really just 6 hours ago.
He's so dedicated. He's coming to you live, folks.
I'm sick.
Please do us a favor and let's start off by go ahead and hitting that like button. So if you're not subscribed, please subscribe. I don't think we can see comments. I think I set this one up as subscriber only for the comments, which I kind of like.
Yeah. I like that.
I don't want the sexy bot girls.
Sexy live HD or what XD or whatever. All right, so I've got that. I'm gonna throw a picture behind me real quick.
Hey DJ, thank you for showing up.
Hey DJ, what's up, man?
Sorry we did not have a lot of time in Vegas, and I'm sorry about that. It's like so many people wanted so much of our time in Vegas and the events and the serendipitous things that happened.
It was nonstop, balls to the walls. We had no room for anything extra.
Oh, we were running to things. It was quite the weekend actually.
Which is cool.
So. My apologies to anybody who wanted to meet with us that we did not get to meet with at all. At least we got to see you somewhat. I never did see Matt Caster, though he apparently did not have as much fun as I did there. We met with Nikachu for all of 5 minutes most.
Yeah, we congratulated him on his top 8.
And here's your box. Goodbye.
We stopped by his. He didn't see us, but we stopped by when he was playing his top 4 match, I think, or top 8 rather.
Top 8. Yeah.
And we got
to see him for a little bit at least.
We did a live event on the wrong channel, so I have that, and I'm going to post it on our channel, the real channel. I took it down from the other one. So unfortunately, I do have live coverage of the event. I could probably just show it here, just so you guys have an idea of it'll kind of debunk a lot of the stuff going around that talks about it being like a dead zone, when it really was not.
So I mean, what are we going to cover here tonight? So. It's really going to be a smorgasbord. I wish I was a little better organized. I haven't really, to be honest with you, been able to process everything that happened over the weekend. It was so much. But one of the things that we definitely talked about, and Matt tries to kind of calm me down a little bit and say, hey, realize that people have different feelings about what's going on out there and what happened out there. And I am genuinely excited about what happened. It was an event of a lifetime for me. And I told Matt, I said, I think it's, it's really important for us to share, kind of peel back that green curtain, so to speak, and share the experience that we had the way we saw it. Some of the information that's being passed around out there is technically not correct. And I don't mean just technically. I mean, I don't want to say people are spreading lies intentionally, but it seems that there's a lot of people on the hate wagon and saying things that are not correct.
There's some misinformation due to lack of information, I think. I think it's not... I don't think they're intentionally trying to do it. I think there's a lot of echo chambering happening. Like, one person says something, and then everybody else is like, yeah. But honestly, there's a lot of the stuff that we can debunk because we were there.
Sure, and that's one of the things that really bothered me. You could ask Matt. He was sick as hell yesterday. I really wanted to go live last night, and
he wants to go on this crusade. He wants to crusade this whole thing, which it's cool, but
I don't really want to crusade. But it bothers me, especially having content creators talking shit about an event they didn't even attend.
Yeah, that's a little weird. I mean, they're going. They're trying to go on the. I don't want to say bandwagoning. They're trying to go. This is the hot topic, so of course they want to cover it.
The hate wagon.
Yeah,
the hate train.
They want to cover
whatever.
It.
And I don't blame people for wanting to cover it and want to be a piece of it, but I think we have a responsibility to be as accurate as possible. So I'm going to try when it's an emotion or a feeling, to relay that the way that I saw it through my eyes, and for things that are fact, things that actually happened and are documentable. I'm going to point that out where others may have just been misinformed for whatever reason, and that's what they chose to focus on. I will say right now, from the very beginning, I was expecting far less than what we got. And I don't just mean these silly packs. I'll be honest with you. This is it's a nice perk, a nice bonus. But even without those packs, even without the backpack and all the swag, I would have paid at least $2,000 for my ticket just for the experiences that we had. And I don't even know how to put a price on getting to meet up with folks like Dual Brain and DJ and Nikachu for whatever small period of time. And Brody had a ball with that guy. I wish he was here. I think he's still traveling. Ed, I got to spend more time, I think, with Ed than anybody else that was there.
Yeah, that was awesome.
And a lot of that has to do with the fact that he was in the hotel right next to us, right? I think if he wasn't, I would not have had the opportunity to spend as much time as I did, and I absolutely adore that.
That putt-putt session was a blast.
What's that?
I said that putt-putt session was a blast.
Yeah, that's how we finished it off. But what I'd like to do is kind of try to go over things somewhat chronologically, because I think that's where some of the misinformation starts right out of the gate.
Well, what I want to do, if I can, I'm trying to find the floor plan for the event that we were at, because it kind of matters. I want to set the stage of what we were promised versus what we got.
So, but there's some things I'd like to talk about while you're digging that up.
Sure.
Like, some of the things I covered on Cardboard Conversation and on the round table when I was talking about preparing months ago. If you go back and peel through the videos, I'm all over the place. I don't really know exactly where I said it, but I know I did my best to try to say, look, this is going to be a very busy town. It's going to be a very busy event. I highly recommend getting there early, which is what Matt and I did. Showed up a couple days early to, orient ourselves. And I lived there for 8 years. Get yourself prepared for being in the area, find out where to eat, find out how to travel, get all that shit out of the way so that you're not scrambling on the first day of the convention. And I think a lot of irritation from a lot of people out there, from what I'm gathering, kind of revolves around that very issue. So if you're going to go to some of the future events, please do yourself a favor. Please start looking at videos about the place. Look at maps of where food is. Look at how you're going to travel. How is their public transit system? All of those things will make your experience a whole lot better. And if at all possible, arrive at least a full day early to get your bearings, to get oriented. You don't want to be scrambling on the last day. Amen, Tanya. I think that really did cause a lot of the pains that we see. Now, when we first got there, I'm not even going to go through the whole health issue the health check issue that Matt ran into. That was a fiasco.
I ended up getting sick anyways, even though I got a negative test. This is bullshit.
It was difficult, and we were somewhat scrambling ourselves, but thank God we were there early enough to compensate, so we didn't burn an entire day just trying to dig around finding that. But the very first day that we were there for a full day, which was Thursday, day 0, the day before the event started, they sent us an email. I don't even remember when we got the email, and I'm assuming that they didn't just send it to the Black Lotus Pass people. They were encouraging you to come in the day before so that you could get your health wristband check, so that you could get your swag. And that's what I was really more concerned about. I really didn't even think about the health wristband thing and having lines for that. But they encouraged you to get some of that administrative funk out of the way the day before the actual start of the events. And it was, would you say that when we went through that there was any kind of massive lines or hold up to get our stuff or get our health checks taken care of?
Oh, no. The day before was dead. There was maybe 20, 30 people at a time.
And I'm hearing that people are upset that there were massive queues on the first day just trying to get through that health check. But if you had looked at the emails and gone in the day early, you could have avoided a lot of that, cut your time down significantly. Plus, you wouldn't have been missing any of the events. And I think it was open pretty much all day the day before, or starting at noon. I can't remember. But they did send out a message. I can't fault them for that. Now, food, I heard somebody else say that, well, Papa John showed up on the second day, which is also
False.
Not true. They were there on day 0. Now, it was on you to go kind of wandering around any place that was open to go find out what was all around, and we did. Not just at the at the convention, but outside the convention. Walked way too much, but it's up to you to kind of explore a bit, right? That's not WotC's fault. I won't fault them for that. Now, the food selection there, I will say, was not great, but this is Vegas, folks. I mean, going to McDonald's and getting a sausage biscuit, a hash brown, and a coffee will run you about $11 or $12 in Vegas. So everything is not great and super expensive. That's just the way that Vegas is. But I knew all that watching Travel Ruby, even though I lived there, like I said, for almost 10 years. I watched what was currently going on. I knew the situation with the buffets. It's not like, aren't I great? I'm trying to share this with you so that if you go to something like this in the future, you can prepare yourself better for it. Drives Matt nuts. I'm a preparer kind of guy. Yeah, I agree. There's a lot of hate train. So tonight, I'm gonna be as positive as possible. Like, all these people could be haters. I know a lot of people are gonna say we're biased because we were given $1,000 in free packs. I'm not going to lie, that felt good, but that certainly did not make the experience super great for me. Are we still live? Yeah. Looks like I froze up a little. Oh. Okay, cool. Now, I'm trying to watch YouTube and look at the comments, but I keep clocking. Hopefully, I'm not coming through too choppy on YouTube. So, I don't know if are you still... It looks like you're making the map.
Yeah, I couldn't find it, so I'm using the old paint and just struggle busting my way into existence. But it's working, so...
So there you go. You got Matt Picasso over here drawing a rough map.
I just want a rough area of where... I just want to set the stage of what was promised to us and then what we actually received so that people can make their own decisions on based our unbiased or biased opinion. I feel like setting the stage is important.
And that's fine. And he's literally setting the stage. I'll say this. I think if we had only gotten what we were promised for $750, I probably would have been fairly disappointed. But I would not have been disappointed with getting to meet everybody. I'm not talking about from the Black Lotus. I'm just talking about Dual Brain and Brody and DJ Longhair and Nikachu and other people that were just, fantastic. The people that we sat down and played with, people that we just bumped into in the lounge. That really made it. I mean, between the Crimson Party and walking back over to the play area, we got stopped for a good 45 minutes to an hour with just some fairly random folks.
Right.
Who wanted to pick our brains.
We got stopped a lot. We got stopped a lot from people that we met at the actual event. We got stopped by people we knew, people we didn't know. It was...
Which actually is going to play into how it ended up being such a fantastic event for us, was actually started by a couple of guys that got kind of screwed over in the lounge. If you guys remember when I was talking about, signing up for events months and months ago, I was like, oh man, people are going to get screwed. And indeed, like day 0, we kind of broke it to some people. Nope, you're not in the events you think you're in. And I would say it's probably, if I had to throw a rough number out there, because I don't have the actual numbers for sure, that it was probably about 20% of the people were disappointed when they arrived there.
Yeah, I was thinking at least 30%. It just seemed
I'm just trying to be safe. Yeah, I was hearing lots of reports of people upset that they thought they were in events. It was on their schedule, and they weren't. And that actually led to us having the time of our life. There's a couple guys I really wish I remembered their names, but they were in the Black Lotus lounge when we were talking with them after they opened the Magic 30th anniversary packs, not realizing they were $250 a piece.
Oh, $500 now.
Okay.
And how are volumes, everybody? Is Bob is same volume as myself? Just want to make sure. But yeah, the two guys that kind of set everything else up for the VIP members, they had coverage done from WotC, so they're going to be up somewhere. We'll find their names out eventually. I'm sure there's gonna be like an article or like a lessons learned or something.
So these are just two guys that showed up, right? And they were a little disappointed. So they took the time during the events when we were just running around, buying cards, talking to people playing, and they took the time to go voice their concerns to WotC management while they were there. Explaining their displeasure with, spending all this money building decks, thinking they were scheduled for an event, going through all this. And it's kind of a feel bad. It's unfortunate that, that was across all badges. And it seems like the only effort that WotC made was towards the Black Lotus VIP. That is unfortunate. I wish there could have been something more that they did for everybody. But those two guys doing that, it spurred WotC into action, and they made a meet and greet with the people that formed the Commander Committee that created Commander, including Sheldon Menery.
Well, hold on. Before we get into all that, I want to set the stage first.
Sorry. Sure.
So I noticed that we were dropping like 18% of the frames, so I dropped the bitrate down on my end. So we're green now. I'm hoping that solves that problem because people are talking about audio issues. No, you guys aren't having a stroke. It's just for whatever reason, OBS had the output bitrate at like 10,000, and I guess my internet was struggle bussing. I've got to call them out here anyways. All right, so we signed up for this Black Lotus event. It was a bit of a clusterfuck to actually get the ticket. I think we've already shared that story, so I don't want to go into the details. But basically, we had the ticket in our cart. Rob clicked on a link, which removed it from our cart because he wanted to make sure that he can transfer the ticket to myself. Then we didn't have the Black Lotus VIP anymore. It said it was sold out. And then all of a sudden, I was refreshing the page trying to figure out what we were going to do with the other. We were going to go with the other tickets. Pardon me, sorry. And I refreshed the page a few more times, and then eventually they came back, and then we got our tickets. So that's how that worked. It was a clusterfuck, but we got it. And again, pardon, I'm sick, so I caught something from the Vegas. Brought it home with me. So you'll see down below us, this is a very rough layout of the area. It's not obviously perfect, but it'll give you guys the idea of what.
Certainly not the scale.
No,
that VIP lounge is going to be much smaller.
Well, it's not the scale, but this is just a good layout to kind of give you an idea of what's happening. So our VIP basically said that we got our own lounge. They didn't really go into details of what that meant. We got all the product they promised. That's all fine. That was just 2 playmats, the sleeves, the backpack, the
3 collector boosters for Dominaria,
the signed cards, a bunch of booster packs, the unsigned and signed Richard Garfield. So all the product they promised, that was all there. Perfect. But we got there Thursday morning. And
Wednesday morning.
No, Thursday to pick up our stuff, our swag.
Oh, gotcha.
So we get there Thursday morning at around, Thursday afternoon at right around noon. Is when you could go pick up your stuff. You can go get your wristband, and this was given to everybody. It wasn't just VIPs that could do this. You could go get your band that says you're safe and your product, just so you can kind of get out of the schedule, kind of look at the venue, see what's going on, and anybody could do this to kind of make sure you don't have the rush of the day of the starting event. So we got to do that.
Can I pause you for just a second? I think we might have Josh and Natalie. Is this the Josh and Natalie that just got married? If so, congratulations, everybody in the channel. If it's not, let's congratulate them anyways. If they watch us afterwards, Josh and Natalie, we met that first day, and they were getting married
over in the ring.
Yesterday?
I think it was called the Ring of Fire or the something of Fire.
Valley of Fire.
Valley of Fire, maybe. Yeah, awesome. Yeah, congratulations, guys. So we got all of our product on Thursday morning, Thursday afternoon, and then we discovered that we had 4 packs of the 30th commemorative edition. The $1,000 for 4 packs. Those are just kind of shoved in our backpack for everybody. Everybody in the VIP Black Lotus event or package, which was not promised, but sweet. They said that it was due to the backlash of the community. Why they decided only to do anything for the Black Lotus, but for nobody else, I don't know. That's not our decision. But so that was cool. So didn't.
Hold on, correction. That's not correct. People in the lounge were guessing that they put it in there because of the backlash of the community.
I spoke to somebody that said that it was due to the backlash. This was one of the event organizers. I don't know if it was like a WotC member or if it was just some of the staff at the expo. I don't know who said it, but maybe they were speculating. It could be this is speculation. Fine, speculation. I cannot confirm it or deny it. But we'll definitely go on the air of speculation.
Yeah.
But anyways, so we go home, we go back to our hotel, and we carry on our day, happy as all can be, and whatnot. But what I can say is that going in there on Friday morning, we got to skip the line because we had already picked up all of our stuff, and we were kind of able to just go in to our Black Lotus VIP. They said that the doors opened at 8 a.m. for the Black Lotus VIP, and then they said there was going to be some kind of special queue that we assumed would mean that we'd have access to like the vendors and or something early. We assumed that something would be early. Turns out that when we got there, nothing was open. Nothing was available for any of us, VIP or not. It was just that you could come into the VIP lounge and kind of relax and whatnot for 4 hours.
I'm not sure we're actually... There's something going on out there.
We're fine. I haven't dropped a single frame since I adjusted the settings.
But everybody's in there like, oh no, did they cut out? Yes, Steph. And can you guys hear us out there?
Yeah, see, we're still good.
Okay, cool. I just want to make sure that we're getting a little funkiness here. So I just want to make sure you guys can still hear and see us.
It could just be
good.
they could just be experiencing before I made the change. Maybe they're just behind. Cool. Thanks.
All right, cool.
So the VIP lounge that we got to go into was no more different than Rob was kind of describing as a teacher's lounge. There was about, I don't know, what would we say, 10 to 15 tables? A few couches?
No, not even close to 10 to 15. There was 1, 2, 3.
I'm being generous, okay?
Maybe 4. And they were probably, I mean, the tables were large, like
8 feet
across.
Yeah.
Yeah, 8-foot circular tables, so you could fit like 8 people at a table. But I don't think you could have fit more than 100 people in there comfortably, even with the couches and everything. It was small.
Yeah,
it was very small.
We got the final updated number that there is 350 Black Lotus passes, not 305. I was initially told 305, and then she had updated to 350 on the second day. But yeah, so we had this area that we could go to, which was nice, and that's what's here listed on the.
I mean, it was nice that we were able to go there. The area was not nice. It was very bland.
Well, that's how. Well, I say nice is like it's just nice to have an area that we can go to. But yeah, that's the VIP, the VIP lounge here. So we're like we asked if there's anything that we can do prior to going. They said no. Once the doors open, we'll have a special queue that we can line up into to go in front of everybody else. The thousands of people that are waiting in the lobby. But basically, what that means is that we walk in front of them, and then everybody else floods in behind us. There's not even like 5 minutes worth of time. Like we literally are just like lined up to go in front of them, but then everybody else floods in afterwards. So it's like not really much of a difference. I wouldn't consider that VIP, to be quite honest. We definitely expected to be able to go to the
there was
vendors.
no time to like go cherry pick from the venders and whatnot, which is what I had kind of expected.
But
at least have like an
hour. It wasn't promised, but a little bit misleading, I would say.
It was a little misleading, sure.
And one thing I also would say is that if you see here on the VIP thing, you have to go down this hallway, and then you eventually get down to this entrance, which is the entrance to the main area. So anytime you wanted to go from the main venue to the VIP lounge and back and forth, you had to literally walk half the building in order to go in and out, which there was a door in our room that led directly to the play area, but we were told that we couldn't go through it, but people still used it sometimes. I don't know. We probably could have still used it. They probably would have said nothing, but we were told no.
It was not terrific as it was sold, right? As the package.
It didn't feel very VIP, honestly.
Not at all. Not at all.
But so we get to the venue. The venue is crowded as hell. There was definitely a ton of people everywhere, and all the vendors, all the play areas, every play area was packed. You'll see that this area called the command zone. This was for the Ruby package. You got to basically have your own commander zone that every now and then you could meet some people from game nights. So DJ was there, Cassius Marsh was there,
Joe
Johnson was there. I think at one point,
Krim. By the way, I don't know if you saw that video. The guy that signed over top of my Gavin signature.
Oh my!
You're talking about with the blue hair. His name is Krim.
Yes.
Nice guy. He really apologized.
He didn't see it because it was gold and the way the light was reflecting off it. He didn't see it, so he ended up signing over Gavin's signature.
But I was like, it's okay. We're good.
It's definitely a story to tell. But yeah, so this command zone, I think initially some people were saying that there wasn't enough area for random people to play, and the command zone was taking up that entire area. What they ended up doing is they ended up cutting it in half at one point. So this this area here became open for anybody to play, and also for more events. And then this was also the command zone, which was plenty enough room for the rest of the people.
But I would like to point out that in that play area, I was able to sit down and play with other people, without having to clear it with anybody. There was plenty of open space. Sometimes the events were massively crowded. Sometimes there was extra space. If an event started and you were sitting at a table, they would just ask you to move. I mean, you could have sat in there. It wasn't like they're sitting there with Uzis and guard dogs.
I was told that day one,
get up.
that command zone, they were actually checking badges. But then, like halfway through day one, they changed it.
Well, I'm talking about the regular play area.
That was the play area. The gold zone. The gold zone was the entire.
I'm talking about where all the blue and green and red tables were.
Oh, I see what you're saying. So as long as there wasn't an event going, yeah, you could sit down. Exactly.
Right, you could sit down there. They weren't that strict about it.
Right.
And they were. I'll be honest with you, it was such a clusterfuck. Jank, glad you're here, buddy. I did find what I wanted to find. I shared something with Jank a little bit. That, by the way, if you're here, you're going to get an exclusive, folks, that I have not yet seen. I was surprised. Jank actually had a couple of pictures of it, but and I haven't even talked to Matt about this. But I have been, kind of combing the interwebs, looking for. Do you remember? Don't spill it right now. This is why I asked for those pictures earlier. The story that Brody told us. We're like, really? We saw that. We took a picture with that. Remember? Yeah. Oh, well, we'll spill that in a little bit. But I thought that was that was just cool as shit. And I shared it with Jank, especially knowing his love affair with things. And I have another little surprise for you, Jank. So stay tuned for that, folks. It's not, earth shattering, but it was really fucking cool.
Sure.
So go ahead. I'm sorry. All I was saying is that people that were saying that there was no room to play, bullshit. There was room all over the place. You could have played outside. There were not hundreds of chairs and tables. There were stand-up tables, which I'm too fat for that. But there's those hallways were crowded with the people on the stand-up tables. There was plenty of places to play if you were there.
We ended up walking 33 miles while we were there for the 5 days. Too much walking. And I wore the wrong shoes. I wore skater shoes. And if you guys know about skater shoes, they're real flat and no support. So that was not a smart decision.
And I didn't eat much, and I didn't lose a pound after walking 35
I didn't
miles.
check. I assume because I'm sick, I would have lost a lot, but I have not checked.
But at any rate, the bad part was I didn't get to drink coffee for the first 4 days. It was just too damn expensive. So I was starting to get a little cranky.
And then I also have, I don't know if we want to do the whole video or if you want me to post it separately. I've got a 7-minute video of basically like a walkthrough of the event. I can have it playing now that I don't need this. I'll have it playing down below with no sound, and it kind of gives you it'll give you guys an idea of what the event was like.
Before we do that, I really want to share, and we didn't learn about this the story with Brody. Is it possible to pull up your camera roll? So I'll explain what happened here. I really like the picture to come up first. How about the one with me behind it, doing the peace sign thing?
Well, I was kind of pissed off that we didn't get anything when we took a picture with it. That's bullshit.
Yeah, great. Well, I mean, I don't know. So this is highly unconfirmed. The only source I heard this from was from Brody of Alfonso Investments, who is just a really cool dude. Spent a little bit of time with him. He drove us back to town after, on Sunday night, which was amazing. Wish we could have got more time with him.
That was great.
But when we were talking to him, so he shared with us that, he took a picture with this. He's like, oh, hey, there was this cool Fibble Thip. And we had seen it, what was it, the day before? Maybe they were just setting up in the hallway when she was dragging it around. It was really cool. Like when she walked by, I'm like, that's fucking cool. I like that thing. And he, Matt decided to take a picture. I'm like, hey, get a picture of me with it. I'll send it to Jank. And I really didn't think anything more about it. I didn't know if it was something you could buy. I was like, man, if you could buy it, it's probably gonna be like $1,000. It was really good quality. Oh no, all you can see is me.
Dude, calm down. You jumped to conclusions way too quick. Let me do my thing.
I'm sorry.
We got this.
So you can see it's about knee high. It was just a really cool little statue that she had put out in the hallway.
I'll make it big.
And I got a picture with it.
I'll cover myself.
And I really didn't think anything more about it. And as we were talking to Brody on the last day, He said, "Yeah, I took a picture. I found this, Fibblethip, and I got a picture with it. And then some WotC employee walked up to me. I can't remember what he said they rewarded him with. It was,
He got a
did he say they
secret
gave
lair
him some
drop.
packs?
They called it.
He gave him the, they gave him the secret. Oh, that's what it was.
They called
So
it
they
like
gave
a
him
secret lair or secret. He called it a secret lair drop or some shit.
which is just really, really cool. And it basically what it was, and I don't know if you've seen the secret lair, totally lost is kind of like a Where's Waldo, but it was Where's Fibblethip. And then they kind of did that, and I didn't see it announced anywhere. I didn't hear anybody else talk about it. The only person I know that had anything to do with it. So if you catch and corner Brody from Alfonso Investments, get some more from him. But I just thought that was a really slick thing to have hidden gems like that, little Easter eggs, just at the convention. If you're observant, if you're adventurous, I thought that was utterly cool. Now they did not give me or Matt a secret lair for this, but I don't know if they were just setting up in the hallway or maybe they had already given it to somebody that found it at that location. Oh yeah, I wanted it. I wanted it, Sherry. I was really debating because I had some cash on me there. If it was $500, I very much would have considered buying it. I really did. I like Fibblethip too. I'm not quite as big as Jank is. But speaking of that, Jank, so we were in the VIP lounge and got some rather exclusive stickers. And my table decided, I think Matt just kept all of his, but they ripped open these like official WotC looking packs. And my table decided the fair way to distribute them was to do a sticker draft. So I drafted this sticker for you, Jank. Give me your details, and I will get this Fibblethip sticker to you if you want it. Let me know. Sorry. So that's my whole Fibblethip part of the thing. I thought it was just very, very cool. So if you're going to Charlotte, be on the lookout for it. This is the hallway he was talking about. We just walked back from the VIP lounge up to the main entrance of the expo area. So I don't know. Maybe it feels like we should narrate it a little. I don't know. Just to give some reference. So you're walking in the front entrance here. Boy, it seems very choppy to me. I'm watching it on the YouTubes.
Yeah, we're dropping frames. I gotta call these internet folks out here. They're causing problems. But hopefully you guys can see it whenever it catches up. But basically, this is day 3 of the event, so there's not going to be as many people as there was, obviously, during the first 2 days. I would say this was
just utterly packed on day 1.
Yeah, on day 1, it was nuts to butts. I mean, you had the entire area just completely slammed.
Like you'd be banging into people at this point. Yeah, I think maybe we stop this. We're dropping, and just perhaps maybe release this, and we can talk about it later.
I don't know if it's the video that's causing it. I'll pause and see if it fixes it. Because if that's the case, my internet's really good. I promise. I have gigabit connection. Like this is nuts. It might be the video. Well, no, it's just bad. I pause it and it's still doing it. Well,
yeah.
Give it a second here. I can reset everything, but I think it's going to drop the feed, and I don't want to do that. But if it's like it's dropping frames like crazy right now.
Yeah, I really feel better if we kind of drop it. That's the beta draft is going on the left at this point.
Drop what? I paused the video. It's not the video's fault. It's just doing it because my internet blows apparently.
Since you paused it, I don't see it clocking anymore.
We're still in the red. We're still dropping frames, even when it's paused. But it's weird. Yeah, it's hardwired. Yeah, it's a solid computer. The 3090 Ti with a 700K with like 32 gigs of RAM. It's not the computer. It's not. It's definitely internet, unfortunately. I don't really know. It's the upload that's struggling. Yeah, it's struggling right now, even though nothing's happening. But anyways, yeah, I can release this video later. I don't think it's doing anything. I don't think it's causing a problem, but
well, the studio's saying that It's not receiving enough video to maintain smooth streaming.
Yeah, I told you my internet's shit. I can do nothing about it. I can only reset, and if I reset everything, I think it drops a stream. But at least I think we just gotta move on. I don't. There's nothing I can do unless I reset everything, which I'll do. But I think it'll mess everything up. I mean, I think it'll resume if you guys want to wait. It should resume the broadcast once the internet comes back up. But up to you. Right now we're dropping frames like crazy.
I don't want it to be miserable for the viewers.
All right, so hold on, guys. I'm gonna reset everything. We'll be back.
We'll be right back, folks. Try to fix this bad quality.
Yeah, it should be resolved hopefully with a reset. Okay, reconnection successful. Let's see if it restabilizes once it connects all the way.
I think we're back. Let us know, folks, in the chat if anybody's still here.
Well, it says we're dropping 43% of the frames, so that didn't solve it. Just bad.
I don't know what to say. So we'll try to press on the best we can. Bear with us if you can, folks. Sorry about the quality. I'm not really sure. We'll have to talk after the show and try to see if there's anything we can do to work on that.
It's literally just going to be me calling my internet provider. But, yeah, so...
Yeah. All we can do is press on for now.
It's
well, I appreciate that, Steph. It was nice meeting you. I'm glad we finally got to meet up. I don't even remember where we left off with the chat. So,
to refresh the chat.
I know we were talking about walking through there, but the video is sort of out of time chronologically.
Yeah, this was just so they got like an actual eye view or a first-person view of the actual venue and whatnot.
But for the first 2 days, it was definitely very crowded. I would definitely say that folks that are saying that it was a bust and that people didn't like it and whatnot, that is definitely not what I was hearing and seeing at the convention myself.
This is Nikachu right here doing his beta games in his top 8.
Wow, I got really flat hair today. Hat head. So on Friday, the only event that we had was the Mark Rosewater Unfinity exclusive draft, which quite honestly did not feel exclusive at all.
I put exclusive in quotations.
What an entire clusterfuck that was. I mean, so you had to use the companion app when you were there, and it says your tournament has started. You're at table 13. Well, all the tables started with 2,000 something or 2,100 something. I'm like, I called over Judge. I'm like, I would love to be at table 13 if you could tell me where the hell it is.
I assumed it'd be like 2013, like just ignore the first 2 numbers, but no, it was completely wrong, just completely off.
It's completely off. They made an announcement. Hang on there, folks. Hang with us. If you're confused, so are we. We'll straighten it out in a few minutes. Now, they did ultimately straighten it out. Probably took them, it didn't take them that long, maybe 10 or 15 minutes to get it squared away. But it started at 7-ish, and we didn't leave there till after, I don't know, it was like 12:15, 12:30. So it was like 5 hours of brutal, just 3-round draft play.
Yeah,
that's far too long.
It took way too long. Every event that we went into was at least 15 to 30 minutes late, sometimes longer than that. The 6 p.m. draft event was starting at 7. The 7 was starting at 8. Every round was like going to turns, which seems insane to me when it's like it's supposed to be a casual fun draft. But, you
The
know.
6 o'clock draft for the Pearl badges, because ours was for the Black Lotus only, but the 6 o'clock one started at or after the 7 o'clock one started.
Yes.
And it was the tournament organization was absolutely terrible. It just was bad. Like, and that was true of all 3 events that we went to. So there was something off with every one of them. Oh, you're in the blue section. Nope, move over here. You're not in the blue section. And then it was sending messages to Matt like, you've lost. It hasn't even started.
Yeah, the second boss monster fight, it just told me I got a round loss, and I'm like, what do you mean? We literally have not started yet.
It was there was a lot to be desired about the scheduled events. So I'm going to say this in all honesty, if I go to something like this again, I don't think I'm going to sign up for any events. Like, it was more of a sort of anchor around my neck rather than I would love to have a do-over, not sign up for those events, not pay for those events, and rather go out and just chill with other content creators, with some of the people there. That was far more memorable, far more enjoyable. It was just, I know it may sound cheesy and sort of goofy, but getting together with fellow nerds, or however you want to look at it, that like talking Magic, hanging out with all you guys that I only get to meet, on the interwebs, was just that was the special part to me.
Oh, for sure.
And meeting Mark Rosewater. So I'm not kidding when I say these packs, that's what all the stir is about out there, and people are up in arms when they didn't even go to the event. And that's not at all what it's about. Matt accused me of fanboying out over Gavin Dugan, who I didn't even know was part of I didn't know he helped create Commander, and I didn't know he was part of the Commander Rules Committee. I think Josh Lee Kwai's on there, and I heard Sheldon Memory before, who was in there playing Commander with us in the lounge, by the way.
Yeah, Karuk on the stage right there, which was pretty sweet.
So, if I had it to do over again, I would not have signed up for the events. But I didn't know any better. Now I do. And if you're going to Charlotte, I would almost recommend not signing up for them. If you want to play, there's going to be plenty of people to play with. If you absolutely must
with
play.
His belt that he made.
Yeah, baller.
The sweet looking belt.
I mean, just what a talented dude. That was what a great guy. And he was at least he seemed. Brody, if you watch this afterwards, I think Brody's still traveling, by the way.
Oh, is he?
Yeah. I got his phone number, and I was messaging him, and he was like, anyways, I don't want to give out too much personal information.
Sure.
But I think he's still traveling right now, actually.
I think he drove.
So I hope he's having a safe trip. But seriously, I wouldn't sign up for too many events. That was more pressure to be places at times. I would love to have had the opportunity to go hang out with Matt Castor. I don't remember exactly where he was supposed to have been having the gathering. I think it was like a Davies bar or Dave's bar or something. We couldn't make it happen. And it's unfortunate. But had we not had the scheduled events, which I honestly could have done without. As a matter of fact, I missed my most expensive one, which was the collector pack chaos draft, or whatever you want to call it. So
and he got the worst packs possible.
Oh God, I don't even want to talk about that. That was an oil check, like with somebody's foot. That was bad. So again, I could have skipped those parts of it. The vendors were absolutely fine.
A little overpriced, but again, it's Vegas, so I guess they just put the Vegas tax on there.
Something that was not overpriced. So, WotC doesn't always just stick it to you, folks. And they weren't mistakenly priced. They had these at an amazing price. They were so good. I had not intended to buy one. But Matt has probably a pretty cool story explaining exactly when we went to the vendor area. Because day one, all I'm going to say about that, fuck that line. That line was probably an hour and a half to 2 hours long on day one.
Yeah, it was
I was
nutty.
like, nope, no chance. Then I'm going to get my T-shirt, which I did, and my hat and my pin for my daughter. That's all I intended to buy. And Matt's got a pair on him.
I do.
Why don't you explain it? Yeah. About how we actually made our purchases.
Oh, so we had the Black Lotus VIP passes, and they said that there was like extra queues available for Black Lotus VIP. So I figured that we would just have, we wouldn't. I figured we wouldn't have to stand in line with the rest of the plebs. This is joking, of course. But seriously, we paid $750. I didn't want to stand in line. I stood enough. I was like, okay. I walked around to the side, and I asked the lady. I said, "Hey, we have the Black Lotus pass. Is there a special line for us, or do we have to wait for the rest?" And then she was like, "Well," she's like, "Let me ask," because she turned around and talked to a guy, and he was like, he's like, "No, unfortunately, there's no line."
Nothing special.
Nothing special for the Black Lotus VIPs. And I was like, "Oh, all right." And then we started walking away. And then a dude comes chasing after us. He's like, wait. He's like, "You guys spent a ton of money to be here." He's like, what do you need? Then he pulled us back over, and we actually got to skip the line. So we got our box and my hoodie, which sucks.
Well, but neither one of us had intended to buy a box of mystery boosters when we got to the line. There was a guy that was at the cash register they were taking care of just in front of us. And I saw him asking the lady how much the booster box was, and I heard her say 120, and I said, "Wait, what?"
I have a big hole in my hoodie.
I'm pretty sure those were just like 250 with the or roughly thereabouts with the Lil Geary secret lair drop. I'm like, that's just a couple of months ago. I can't imagine that they've dropped half in price. And so I asked, I said, "How much are those mystery convention booster boxes?" And she said, 120. I'm like, so put one up here. I would have bought more, but we're already cutting the line and getting some rather not so happy looks from some of the folks that were in line that we just completely cut off. So I wanted to kind of get done quickly, and we tried to share the word with everybody that we bumped into. Hey, and they got the mystery convention boxes over there for 120, and they typically go for about 250.
Yeah, I didn't know. I honestly didn't even know what it was, but Bob was just like, "Buy it." I was like, "Okay."
I didn't want to take the time.
I was like, "Okay."
I was like, I just want to get out of line so that people don't want to stab us in the face.
Yeah.
So that was kind of interesting and cool. And it even led to probably the best part. Because, being an old man, I pee every 5 minutes. And right after we got done buying these boxes, and had we not bought these, we probably would have missed the two guys that had voiced their concerns to WotC. And this is where the convention really, really made a great turn for us.
Yeah, this is where it becomes kind of one of those things where it's like our
surreal.
experience is going to be pretty much unreplicatable anywhere else. Like it's not something to expect going to any of these events. I would not buy the VIP pass in expectation of this unless they learn from this event and they go like, maybe they should do this more often. I did talk to the vice president of fucking WotC, and he asked my opinion. So, I mean, maybe, I don't know.
That's his signature right there on the top of my box, if you can see it. Aaron Forsyth. I was in a draft. We were in a draft with him on Sunday. We drafted mystery boosters.
We got to draft with the vice president and all kinds of other,
and Elaine. Yeah, there were some people there.
All right, so I'm gonna have images. I rearranged this so that there's hopefully.
So let me explain. Let me explain real quick. So just serendipitously, we happened to bump into these two guys that we bumped in on day one that opened. That we watched them open. I think they each pulled Mox too, right?
Yeah,
one
they
pulled
got a Mox Ruby and a Mox
Ruby. Yeah, Emerald. They got the Emerald.
Yeah.
So at any rate, we explained to those two guys. I felt bad for them. That they were not in any of the events. I think they were doing like Two-Headed Giant or something. They had built text for. At any rate,
doing the boss fight too.
They thought they were, but they weren't signed up for anything in reality. So at any rate, it was because of that they kind of way more tactfully than I could have done. I don't have the social grace that these two gentlemen had.
I didn't even think to do it.
I wouldn't even thought to do it, and I know that one of them is actually kind of a higher level. I don't want to share where they work, but
Sure.
they're at a big company, and all that corporate tact that he used, and they got WotC to gather together a whole bunch of WotC big wigs and celebrities, including I guess we'll say Jimmy Wong and Voxy and Gavin Verhey and the guy with the long hair, by the way, he was the one that did the video for
Brothers War.
The Lost Legends.
Oh,
I think his name is like Chris Dermont or something.
Oh, that's not the guy.
And he seemed to be kind of really taking care of the VIP lounge. And then Sheldon Menery, who created Commander and is basically an icon in that arena. A lot of people know who Sheldon Menery is. Got his signature in a unique spot on the inside of my box. I had a whole lot of people. So I got Voxy up top there. I got Cash Marsh just below her. That's Mark Rosewater on the bottom of that. I got Elaine, I don't know her last name, that was on the announcement with Mark Rosewater there. I got Black Nito on the bottom. DJ from the Command Zone there. That's Gavin Verhey with Krim over top of him. And the bottom is Gavin Dugan, who I played with and absolutely had a stellar time. Probably played, good 2 hours with him?
Yeah, something like that.
None of that would have happened without those two guys.
No.
And that was not promised. It was not part of the package. It was not paid for. And in all honesty, we did get a picture with Mark. Oh, that's freaking awesome. There's Voxy. At any rate, that was unbelievable. I would gladly have traded if they would say you could either do that or you can have the 30th edition packs. Not even a question. I would have had that. I would have taken that experience over those packs. Something I can buy these packs. You cannot buy. There he is, Sheldon Menner. You cannot buy that kind of experience.
I didn't even realize I got Ed with Ashiok. Nice. I did get a picture with Dual Brain. That's cool. I forgot.
Oh, hey, there's Black Nito. I don't know if this is syncing up time wise, but it was just absolutely batshit. Oh, there's Gavin.
As far as
it was just, I can't even put it into words. I'm dumbstruck. It was amazing. Oh, there I am.
We missed a few questions. How is the mystery box different than the original? This is the convention edition, so there's just different cards. Was it true that the product cost more on day 1 than day 3? It might be that way from vendors, but from as far as I could tell, the actual merchandise was the same price. But I didn't buy anything from the vendors past day 1. So
I couldn't tell you day 1 because there ain't no way I was getting in line on day 1. That was just
I got some
ridiculous.
cool stuff. Day 1. I needed to finish my Animar deck because obviously they don't allow proxies. So I built one deck that had no proxies in it. So I had to pick up some cards. So I got like a Kozil or a what was it? Not Kozilek.
Yeah, Kozilek.
Kozilek, Butcher of Truth.
Yeah, the Japanese one.
I got a Chinese Kozilek Butcher of Truth for $20, so that's a pretty decent deal. I got a White Border Birds of Paradise for I think it was 10. And then I ended up pulling one when I was drafting with Elaine. There's a picture there. When I was drafting with Elaine, I pulled a Black Border Birds of Paradise, so I pulled that from the convention boosters.
My first draft, my first pack was oh my God, what's her name? The White Praetor.
Yeah, Kodern.
The one that,
you're talking
plus 2 minus 2.
Yeah, Kodern. That's the thing.
Hellish Norn.
You can't expect them to do this for every event. I mean, I think they could for at least as far as the Black Lotus VIPs or whatever, when you're paying a ton of money. To me, it felt VIP. Once they did everything they did past the first day, then it felt VIP. It felt extremely VIP. Sitting down and chatting with Mark Rosewater, you can see right there. He literally sat there for like an hour and chatted with us. We grilled him with all kinds of questions. Being able to...
Well, on which day? On 2 different days.
Sure, yeah. Being able to
I think
chat
actually
and
the second day,
play.
I think on Sunday we actually talked to him for longer, like maybe 2 hours, until I made him uncomfortable and leave.
No, it was only like a half hour because he ended up going to
No.
another table because we were taking up all of his time. We had all the good questions. Oh, and I remember the question that he wouldn't answer. It was the price of the Magic 30 commemorative packages.
Yeah.
I,
Yeah.
I yeah, I
I
couldn't
said that.
remember the exact question that I asked him, but I told him he didn't have to answer it. Obviously, he knows he doesn't have to answer it. But
Some of the questions that I wanted to ask but did not was like, okay, why did you give them to the Black Lotus VIP only? But I mean, what kind of all that's going to do is just be confrontational. I tried my best to get what I thought was most important, and clearly, what I thought was most important when push comes to shove was please make a PVE format. Oh, so I do want to say I don't want to give too many of the answers that Mark gave. I gave him my word that I would not share too many of his answers. Sorry, but I'll give you impressions. It's not too important that you know his exact answers, but I will give you one of his exact answers. One of the questions during the first round of questioning on the first day, or the second day, whatever it was, you know, because everybody was just pelting him with question after question after question after question, and he was really good about answering them. And so when I finally had a few quiet moments, I said, you know, the question I have for you is, what question would you ask of us? What is it that you want to ask all of us? And he actually had a response that kind of stopped me in my tracks. And it was well thought out. I don't know if anybody's asked him before, but he said, his question to us, he says, when I go to these things, what I really want to know is, what is Magic missing? What would you like to see?
yeah, what does he want from that? What do we want from them?
And that, and I'm going to tell you, a lot of the people that were there that were, you know, kind of doing the events for the whoops, we're sorry. You could tell that they were just there because they were told to be there, right? I don't think they genuinely want to be there. Gavin Dugan, he just wanted to play, and I absolutely adored that. We hope to have him
He's
on Cardboard
awesome.
Conversations. We've asked.
Yeah, I gotta contact him on Twitter. He said that he would join us. So I'm hoping that's hoping he's able to do that.
So more to come on that. So he genuinely wanted to be there. It seemed like Sheldon Menery was having a good time playing Commander with folks. Elaine was very gracious.
Joe
but
Johnson
Mark,
had a blast.
Of all the Voxy was really just there to check the box for sure. But
oh, she was having a good time.
She was very pleasant. Don't get me wrong, but she was out
playing
as soon as
over in the command zone. She was playing her I think a vampire deck.
But Mark really seemed to want to talk and listen. And, you know, he said on the tough questions I asked him, he says, you know, we make mistakes, but there's nothing nefarious. I'm a fairly intelligent guy, and not to toot my own horn, and I'm pretty good at judging when, you know, people are flim-flamming. I don't think anybody that I talked to there, including Aaron Forsyth, I didn't get any kind of impression that WotC is just trying to milk our wallets. It didn't seem like anything was nefarious or they don't care. They certainly care. They were very interested.
Yeah, I asked them
and
about.
They're going to make mistakes, and they admitted, you know, they're going to make mistakes, but they do from what I gather from all of them, is that they're letting the data drive their company as a good company does. Yeah. The metrics will lead your company where it's supposed to go. You can understand the emotion out there and you know, sympathize with it, but it can't drive the business decisions or the company will go bankrupt. They have to follow the data.
One example he gave was the Walking Dead Secret Lair. If you like go based on the internet's perception of it, it was like the worst thing they've done since Magic was ever created or I guess ever brought to life. But as far as the data shows, it was their best-selling Secret Lair at the time. So
no, ever. He said
at the time, because there's been better Secret Lair since then, or better performing rather. But either way, Ashen, you were asked if this was only for the Black Lotus VIP. Yes, all of the VIPs and the VP, all the VIPs got the sit down with the VPs and the WotC staff. That was only just for the Black Lotus VIP, and it was only because of two of the members. They basically marched around the area looking for higher ups and complained and talked to them and said, "Hey, we signed up for some events." It was because of the event setup. You'd go to buy a ticket,
terrible.
and if you didn't click buy add-on, which doesn't logically make sense, I didn't do it either. Rob had to tell me a few days later, and I basically missed some events. So the two guys that went there, they thought they were signed up for all kinds of events, and then they come to find out they were signed up with nothing. So, they basically just marched around talking to people from WotC and asked to go higher up and higher up and higher up. And I don't know how far they got up the chain, but they got far enough to get all kinds of crap for us. I mean, they were talking with the staff. They were in teams, and they were like, well, what do you want us to do? Do you want merch? And they were like, well, if you get merch, everybody has to get the merch. If you get an experience, everybody has to get the experience. And this is for the VIPs only. But basically, they were trying to get a compromise of like, what can they basically, WotC was like, what can we do to make this right? And they did the very first day, they did you can either play Commander with somebody from WotC, or you can do a mystery booster draft with somebody from WotC. So there's always going to be somebody from WotC in your pod, whether it's Sheldon or whether it's I don't think Mark Rosewater never played with us, but he chatted with us.
Yeah. He spent more time with us than any of them.
I got to play with somebody from WotC called, his name is Light. He's the global product manager. Got to ask him a few questions. Got to play with him. I stomped him with my Animar deck because I love Animar. Like Bob said, he got to play with Gavin Dugan, and we invited him to the podcast, and he said sure. So that's going to be pretty cool. We'll definitely announce that once we get that solid and locked in. I've got to message him on Twitter.
We didn't even mention that we got filmed by a WotC crew in the lounge. I believe it's Alika, if I'm saying that correctly.
I didn't put that one because it had a bunch of info from. I have that picture, but yeah, we got interviewed from I believe a Japanese branch of WotC. He's from Hawaii. And he asked us a few questions of like, what our favorite commander was and what it was like to be there and stuff like that. Just standard interview questions. And he said that it was going to be posted, I think, in WotC's maybe Japanese division. It was like he translated everything. It was like in English, and then he translated everything in Japanese. So the girl with the peace sign, that's Voxy, Voxy. She's a YouTuber.
So, real quick, I'm getting recommendations from the control that we might want to set the bit rate to 4,500 if you can.
Sure. I don't think it needs a ton of bit rate anyways, but
yeah, that's what it's recommending. So that's Voxy. You're talking about the redheaded girl that gave the peace sign. That's Voxy.
Yeah, she's cute.
So I do want to address Greg J's question. So first of all, let me say that I didn't feel it would behoove us to ask too many tough questions. So I did kind of pin their feet to the floor, and I really don't even want to give the exacts about when I pinned their feet to the floor made it, kind of a little uncomfortable.
I have a good answer to this.
They didn't need to. In short, they didn't need to say anything about Hasbro. The best answer I can give you is that they're doing the fiscally responsible thing and letting the data drive the decisions for WotC.
The answer I was given was from one of, I won't say who, but I don't think it matters. I think that he basically said Hasbro is completely hands off for WotC. They trust WotC with everything they need. Hasbro has no influence on, or very little influence on, what WotC does. So the people that are saying, this is confirmed by the person. I mean, he was higher up. I think he was a VP. But rest assured that WotC doesn't want to make bad products. They don't want the cards to pringle. I talked to Mark about that. He was like, there's so much to do. There's so much that influences the cards pringling that they don't want it to happen. They're trying their best to have it not happen. But there's just so many factors that they're having to deal with that, it just depends on where it's printed, how the humidity is that time, where it gets stored. Like, there's all kinds of different factors. It doesn't benefit them at all to have pringled cards. They're not cheaping out. Like, it's just an unfortunate thing that they're working on. So they definitely don't. They understand. They don't. You have to understand. They don't want bad product. They don't want. They don't want bad product. It does them no good.
All this talk about them just trying to milk top dollar out of everybody all the time, not true. That's just not true. People can say it's all about corporate greed and they're just trying to see, test the boundaries. I can't. I don't really want to get into the specifics of that. If you trust me, then trust that that is not their intent. That's not what they're doing. They like this game. They want this game to succeed. They do care about you and me and everybody else, but they have to let the data and metrics drive where the company goes. My company does it. I would venture a guess that your company does it. Are we still live here? Who seem to have lost Matt? I'm not sure what happened there. You still with us, Matt? Uh-oh.
Yeah, I said I'll be right back.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't hear you.
My pizza was delivered.
Oh, fantastic. So, you know, it's unfortunate. There's a lot of people, so you're going to get very different. You know, when I say there's a lot of people, there's a lot of players out there. You're going to get very different perspectives if you listen to the empty can rattling the most out there. And it's going to cause other people to, you know, say, yeah, I can see that. Yeah, that makes me mad too. It is a company. If they don't run it right, there won't be a company. There won't be Magic anymore. So they seemed all like actually really nice people. And they all seemed like intelligent people. Many of them have a long history with Magic, understand it way better than I do. It's a very different experience. That's probably the thing that kind of bothers me the most, is that they can't give the same experience that Matt and I had to everybody. There's just not enough time. There's just too many people. There's 350. And let me tell you, even the people that got the treatment that Matt and I got, even the people with the Black Lotus VIP passes, very few of the Black Lotus VIP pass holders got the same treatment Matt and I got. There was probably only 45 or 50 of the pass holders in there when we had all these experiences. When Matt and I were sitting there with Mark Rosewater, there were 3 of us.
Yeah, it was weird.
3 of us at the table. Me, Matt, and some other dude with Mark Rosewater for at least an hour. And he took the time to do that. So let me tell you, that was an ultra exclusive treatment. And it's not that I know anybody there, just fortune smiled on me. And so this is where Matt and I kind of
into a lot of our shit.
What I'm going to say is that Matt and I disagree with you know, I agree that you're not going to have this treatment. Don't go in and expecting this kind of treatment. If you get the Black Lotus VIP or the top VIP pass, you'll be disappointed 9 times out of 10, probably 99 times out of 100.
Yeah.
You're not going to get this kind of treatment. But we would not have even begun to have the slightest possibility of having this kind of treatment had we not gotten those passes. And I understand and I recognize that we were very lucky to get those passes. Many people who could afford it, wanted it, did not get them.
No, Lance, there was 350 Black Lotus passes. That was confirmed.
And it really makes me feel like I owe it to the community at large to share a very special event, treatment, whatever you want to call it. I don't even know how to sum it all up with all of you. You know,
and I did speak to the VP of WotC, and he asked me, he was like, "So how was the VIP experience?" And I said, he was like, "And please be honest." And I was like, "Okay." And you know me, I'm pretty fucking honest. And I told him, I said, prior to this event being changed, where we got to meet all the WotC staff and like draft with them and play Commander, I said prior to that, it didn't feel very VIP. It felt very, I don't know, kind of basic. It didn't feel very VIP. But afterwards, hell yes. So if you guys can do more like that for the VIP members, that'd be amazing. So he has the feedback. Let's just see what they do going forward.
I did voice my concerns about. I didn't voice all my concerns about everything, about wallet fatigue. I don't know that would have borne any fruit. I did bring up that it feels bad when they start making things special, like the Hidegetsu or, you know, the Mythic Editions or, you know, the Viscera Seer, and then they overdo it and print it into the ground and make nothing special.
Well, when I spoke to Light, he was talking about one thing that they wish they did differently was bring something out smaller for everybody to celebrate Magic 30 with. Like you've got the $1,000 Magic 30 commemorative packs, you've got the $150 calendar secret lair that just came out today. He said he wanted something even smaller, something that everybody can cooperate in, but they just didn't have a chance to do it.
But they did.
Well, he's the global product manager. I think he would know. He wanted something different. He wanted something more.
Well, all right. So I'm going to say this, and you were sitting there when Mark Rosewater said exactly what I said before. They're giving stuff out for free for the 30th anniversary, and people just seem to overlook it.
Wow, it's the promo cards.
Those are the promo cards, the 3 promo cards going back through Magic's history. They're all the pre-release events. Those are free.
They're not free. Anything. You still have to participate in the event. They're not free.
I don't
Stop saying they're free.
I think if you go there to the event, okay. Anyways, they're at a price point that if you can't afford to play in those events, then I don't understand why you're playing Magic. Hey, Magic costs money.
Period. I was told that $100 wasn't budget enough for my fucking commander deck, so I don't know.
I don't care. If you can't afford $20 to go to a pre-release tournament,
you probably shouldn't.
Be playing Magic. Well, you shouldn't be playing Magic because it's a game that costs money. Period. I don't know what to say.
Yeah.
So, that's they did bring things out that, in my opinion, hit most financial levels out there. Just people are complaining probably about the smallest print run of all of it, which is going to be these stupid packs. At this point, I just wish they hadn't even printed them because just Jesus, people, whatever. But that's the only thing that people focus on. The most prolific is going to be the ones that they're giving out at the lowest price, but because they're lowest price and they're not special, nobody gives a shit. And then the secret lair, which clearly people wanted because it sold out in under an hour today, is a very affordable $150 price point for $350 worth of cards. It's almost like they can't do anything right. They can't print cards that are too cheap because then people say you print them into oblivion and they're not worth anything. And then you make special stuff and well, shit, I can't afford that. That's too expensive. You're only targeting whales. And then they have everything in between. All of their entire other too much product line, which has Jumpstart cheap, Draft cheap, Set at the medium, Collector at the higher end. And it doesn't matter what they do. People are just going to bitch. Those are the products that make the game. These stupid packs affect nothing. You can't play them in any tournaments. They're just as useful as any proxy you can print or this piece of paper that you can write any card you want on it. Now, if you can't afford it, that's a whole different issue. Talk to a shrink. I'm sorry, I don't mean to be insensitive, but those things don't affect anything. They don't stop anybody from playing. Now, they might be something you want, but either can't or don't want to afford. Fine. Don't flip and buy them. I really hate the fact that it's put a dark cloud over this 30th event, which was just utterly amazing. Just absolutely fantastic. The atmosphere that I felt there, not just in the VIP lounge, but everywhere, was in general very positive, even with the shitty tournament designs. Everybody was having a blast. And isn't that what it's all about? It was for me.
Yeah, nobody felt like they were really having a bad time. Like anybody we asked, they seemed like they were having a good time. It's just the tournament coordination was rough. It was real bad. But other than that, it was fine. And as far as the secret lair clay, yeah, I had 2 in my cart. I went to check out on my phone. I'm just laying in bed because I'm sick. So I had 2 in my cart. Went to check out. It errored. Had a bad gateway error. Did it again. Had a bad gateway error. Tried to refresh. It got some other error. And then eventually, I finally got it to say confirmed. And then Bob's like, check your credit card. And I have 2 of them. And I'm getting 4 instead of 2.
Yeah, I mean, that's unfortunate.
Oh, well.
And that's certainly something we should, be throwing darts at WotC about. And I tried to say it on the Cardboard Conversations. Try to be as prepared as you can. Try to be as prepared as you can possibly be. Make your decision so you don't have to be dicking around. Be signed in. Be as proactive. And yeah, everybody was getting errors. Me too. I'm lucky I got mine. It was totally It was a clusterfuck. It really was. And guess what? I have a feeling it's going to be that bad or maybe worse for the commemorative boxes. They really need to fix their retail part of selling products. It's bad. It's very, very bad.
They need to add like a CAPTCHA or some kind of security system to prevent bots from just mass spamming by. I feel like they're getting scalped. I don't think they have any protection for it.
I was on somebody else's live stream that I really didn't want to be in, Pat's buddy, and some jackass was in there saying, "Since when is this a limited release product?" Since they announced the release of it, they said it's going to be a limited print run so that they can deliver it by December 1st. If it was a print to demand, we wouldn't be getting these until next summer or maybe later. So yeah, it has to be limited. Otherwise, there was no way, if they hadn't pre-printed these things, to get them to us in the mail in time for us to actually count down to the end of the year, which was the intent of the secret lair. So, I mean, I don't know how much I'm glad that it's limited. Maybe they should have had more lead time and, kind of let people buy it 2 months ago to get them in. I don't know what the right answer is, but there's just, like I said, there's no move that WotC can seem to make that just doesn't get utterly bashed.
Yeah.
One of the complaints I heard was, I hate 30th commemorative edition because of Pringling card quality. There aren't even any foils in it. Shouldn't Pringle.
No. If it does, there's a whole new problem to discuss.
But my point is that people seem to just want to be angry. And what's really bizarre is that when you got us all together there at Magic 30th, for all this negativity you hear on the internet, I don't know if it's just the internet that's toxic or what, but it wasn't toxic at all there.
No, for the most part, everybody had a good time.
Yeah, I mean, I would really like to, be more uplifting for people, and think for yourselves, and attend these events if you can. Save buying some products. Don't go to some of the tournaments. Don't buy some boxes. Maybe save up some money and go to Charlotte or wherever the hell the next one is. Or I'm going to do my damnedest to try to get a gathering of folks at Gen Con next year. Get back to the gathering part. Those are the memories I'm going to have for the rest of my life. Whatever's in these packs or whatever other packs I've opened, the swag, it'll all be forgotten. But the memories will not.
Yeah, that's a good job, really blocking everything. Turn this off.
That's awesome.
I got this amazing playmat that everybody could get. This is the green one, but I got it signed by pretty much every WotC member I could get. This is the crappier one. I don't really like the yellow one. Green one. The green one seems to be the more exclusive one, and it's also the same, signed by all kinds of members here. This is something I probably will never sell, unless for some reason it's worth a ton of money. But I still don't think. I think it'll be something I might have to try to get a protective coating, like laminated or something. I want to kind of play with it, but at the same time, it seems really stupid to play with it.
I'm not playing. Wow. Let's keep it PG. I'm not playing with it. Giggity. So this is the exclusive one that we got. Thankfully, it's I think the better looking of the two. But I had one playmat signed by one person. Yes, that is Mr. Rosewater's signature up top. I asked him about that too, or I made a comment to him, and just to kind of give you a small window into his personality, I said, "Wow, a signature you can actually read." And he says, "Well, yeah, I really want to take my time, basically to show that he actually does care about the people that he's meeting at these events."
Well, he
It's something that's
specifically
special to
said
them.
on like playmats and expensive cards that people get him to sign, he really takes his time.
So I think that speaks to his character. I really do. And then I did get this one. Oh, I guess I didn't bring it down. I didn't like it enough to even bring it down. The yellow one. But that one you could even buy there. This green one. So if you see these, folks, this one with the I don't know, is that Riss? I don't know who that is. Who the hell is that? Anybody know? Mr. Green dude with a green sword. Kind of looks, I don't know, maybe like Drizzt a little. I don't know who that is.
Yeah, so I've got about 10 minutes before I'm supposed to do my league game with Clay. Clay's in chat trying to pushing us.
No, I hear you, and I don't want to drone on. Does anybody have any other questions for us before we begin to wrap this up? We'll take the rest of the time here to answer any very specific questions that you might have. Some of it we may not be able to answer if, like I said, if we've given our word that.
Oh, I can give you guys a little kind of info, or what is it in the I don't know, special info, whatever the fuck it's called, exclusive. That's the word. Mark Rosewater's favorite enemy in Magic is the Phyrexians. That was pretty cool to know.
Mm-hmm.
His favorite non-Magic games are family games, like card games like Exploding Kittens, and there was a game that he had described, and I forgot the name because my memory is horrible. But basically, you have like a line of letters, and you have like it's like A through Z, but some letters are removed for whatever reason. And like as you go down, you like say words that start with that letter, and then there's something that happens with that. I think it's called consonants or something. I don't know. But yeah, there are some little cool little info tidbits that we got from just being able to chat with them. All of them, every single WotC member that I spoke with was amazing. None of them were bad dudes. I don't consider anything like it. I'm a pretty good judgment of character, and I didn't feel any fakeness from any of them. They all seemed genuine. They all seemed like they want the game to succeed. I mean, it doesn't make sense why they wouldn't. So any negative things that you hear from them, they didn't do it on purpose. It just slipped through the cracks.
Yeah, and they're human.
Yep.
Like, how many of you have never made a mistake at work? Don't throw so many stones. I mean, seriously, these are people. They're not gods. They can't, just make sure that everything's perfect all the time, but they do their best. They try. And that's certainly the message that I got. So the green one is Jared. Wow. Is that Jared all dressed up or something? Because he usually is like shirtless, isn't he? Carthalion.
If you got a normal pass with no WotC interactions, would your review be the same? See, that was kind of that's kind of where I come in, where like I have a non-bias. If we did not have the passes, it would not have been. So for me, it would have been pretty amazing meeting all the people we met outside of WotC staff, like Brody and Dual Brain and Prime and Stefan, like all the people we met and hung out with. That would have been still amazing. The actual event itself, for me, would have been very lackluster. I would have wanted to be in way more events, and then I would have had a good time because I like playing and winning. So in order for me to have a good time outside of WotC stuff, it would have had to have been more events.
Actually, I'm going to disagree, and I probably would have had a fairly good time, but I wouldn't have known the WotC people, so I wouldn't have known about it. It couldn't be the same review, clearly, because I wouldn't know. I can't speak to what I don't know. But what I do know is that many of the cool parts about this trip, like meeting, with Tanya, meeting with Dual Brain and Prime.
Oh yeah, Tanya and Josh. DJ. Well, but we wouldn't have met them had we not been Black VIP.
No, I'm talking about Tanya. We went golfing with them. We met them because of Ed.
Oh, gotcha.
So
Tanya was Brody's girlfriend?
No. Tanya is Stefan's.
Gotcha.
We golfed with them.
Yeah,
I was golfing.
Like I said, I'm horrible with names, and I was kind of delirious.
He's bad with names. But I would have focused on that, to be quite frank. And Lance, it would have been a whole lot different. I would have had a different review if you were there and we hung out.
We got to meet Nikachu. That was cool, and that was outside of the Black VIP. It was
really
short.
Wish I had more time with him.
Yeah,
I mean, I had none, and he's just such a legit good dude. you know, go check out his channel.
Kelly,
There's a young up and comer who was very excited to meet me, and I'm trying to find his channel. I need to meet with Brody. Really young guy. Yeah. That's it. Kellyanne. She was amazing. We got to
She
have
got
at least
him
a
back
good.
into Magic. Like that's such a rare thing to have a girlfriend get the guy back into Magic. Normally it's the other way around.
Besides her trying to death march us up into that garage, for a ride,
Two fat dudes walking up this
it was like a 45-degree
garage.
incline for this fat old man after already walking 40 miles.
Yeah.
But we got to sit in the car, for a good, I don't know, 15, 20-minute ride downtown and had some fun there. Let me tell you. So I got to share this with you guys. So Brody is a huge, huge human being. He might even be taller than Matt. Matt's big. If you meet Matt's a good 6'5", and Brody's at least as tall. And, these are not, I feel like a midget around these two, and I'm 5'9". I'm not small. But we ended up, because the Las Vegas Strip is just a clusterfuck of a place to be, and he's trying to drop us off at the hotel. So we're in the roundabout for the Bellagio, and we just have to pull over where it's not really meant to pull over so he can drop us off. And this asshat in a big old white pickup truck behind us is honking his horn. Then he pulls up alongside as we're getting bags out of the trunk, and I've got these two huge guys, Matt and Brody. I think 6'5" is pretty damn big. Yeah. And he's cursing out the window at him, and I'm looking over like, are you brain damaged, bro? It's just generally not a great idea to be yelling at two monstrous guys, and he had all the room in the world to just go around us. I'm like,
there's like 5 car lengths to the left, like 5 different cars could be to the left of us, and he was like honking at us. We're like, dude, you could go around. There's like tons of room.
I'm like, that not a wise choice, bro.
Brody put on his hazards and everything. Like,
I was just like, some people. It was funny, but so I will have that image for the rest of my life with Brody there, and just what a very upbeat, happy, intense guy is the best way that I could describe Brody. Genuine, and his girlfriend is just wow, so gracious and talking Magic, and just she was very genuine. And it was great. Then we got they took us to the basically to putt to go meet with Tanya and Stefan and Prime and Ed, and there was a little cluster going on there.
That was a good time.
And Ed's wife and salute Mrs. Dualbrain. It was great getting my tail kicked in by you and Tanya at putt.
Our match was so close. We had Prime, Stefan, myself, and Dualbrain. And by the last hole, we were all within 1. It was pretty freaking close.
But it was a great time. I wanted more people to attend. I wish we could have done it, except for it was like 9,000 degrees in there.
Yeah, it was hot.
It was melting. It was pretty hot.
But yeah, if there's any last questions, let us know. But otherwise, we have to wrap it up.
Yeah, we were in a hurry to get to the airport from there, and I don't even want to discuss that. I don't know I'll ever fly Spirit or Frontier again.
I don't know if it was Frontier's fault. I think it was the airport's fault, but
whatever.
The actual flying on Frontier was fine. Spirit was not. Spirit was jam-packed. Like the seats were so close, so small. They're not friendly for big people. Frontier was better. But yeah.
Do us a favor. If you're watching this after the fact, we're going to try to post this as a video. If you have any questions, hit us up in there. We do pay very close attention to the comments and whatnot. Or feel free to reach out to us either, in whatever Discord you can find, or at gamingbob21@yahoo.com. Any way you want to reach out to us. If you have questions, I'd be happy to answer them.
And also keep an eye out.
I'm grateful to have all of you here.
Keep an eye out for our channel. Our name will be changing momentarily, probably within the next few days. So keep an eye out for that.
Yeah, don't be surprised that you won't see MTG Gaming Bob will still be here. It'll just be called something different.
It'll always be MTG Gaming Bob, but it'll be a name together for us that we're doing both channel at the same time instead of just being hit with the one he made.
I want to thank everybody for sharing with us tonight.
Yeah, it was a
Hopefully
blast.
enlighten you guys about some of it. Holding the staff. I don't know. Is it over? I don't know what shoulder it's over.
Because your image,
Eh.
your background image has a
Or-
staff.
I wasn't standing up. What do you mean? I don't know. Like
He's saying you could stand up and you could take
Green
place
star
of the Infinity event or the Infinity picture you have.
I can't make it happen. I'm trying. Sorry.
He's still sitting down, which is the problem. Anyways, thanks for watching, everybody. Hope to see you guys next time. I'm gonna try to. I'll post the video that I took of me just wandering around. It looked like it got a little pixelated. I was using their Wi-Fi, so it's not the best quality, but at least it'll give you guys a good idea of what day 3 looked like. Day 3 was definitely about half as packed as day 1 and 2. So just kind of double the amount of people you see, and that's kind of what you can expect from these events, at least for Magic 30. Thanks for hanging out with us, and we'll see you guys next time.